Hello. I think I'd like to read a nice children's book. See, I have here Bats in the Library. Got some really nice illustrations. Of course, I could read Kings and Queens of the Bible, but then I have some other nice children's books, and they're found right here on my iPad. The iPad opens up a new way for children's books, and we're going to take a look right now at some of the regular books you might see. We're going to click on the iBooks app, and it opens up. This is Winnie the Pooh that I've been reading. And as you can see, reading the book on the iPad is fairly like reading a regular book. You have your illustrations and things like that. We could go into more detail, but I want to show you another type of book that is out, and that is an app that combines both characteristics of a book with characteristics of an app that the iPad can do. This is Alice in Wonderland, and you're reading along just like any other book, and you have illustrations, but you come to another illustration and you might find this watch. But the thing different about this illustration is with the accelerometer that's built into the iPad, you can see that it sort of goes where you want it to go. And this provides a really interesting feature that most books don't have. And you could also touch it as well and move it, as well as physically turning it. And this has all kinds of interesting things, and we can show you that in a moment. But first, I'd like to show you about an idea that I'm working on, and that is an idea for my own children's book on the iPad. Now, since the iPad has come out in April of 2010, and the date of this recording is in August, no consumer software is yet available that you can build your own books and build your own apps. However, with a little bit of simulation, I might show you a little bit about what I want my children's book to look like. So let's take a look at it. The name of my proposed children's book for the iPad is called UniStar. And UniStar is a biblical metaphor for teaching kids unity and diversity from a biblical perspective. And I have some simulations here that I'd like to show you. UniStar is a science fiction book, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the ship UniStar itself, and it's made up of 5 components, 5 different space vehicles, and the team has to learn how to all work together and do their part so that they can form UniStar and mine the asteroids and do all the neat things that they're supposed to do. So this is an example of some interactive video that I've created originally for this project. This is some animation that I made, and simulating turning a page. If we wanted to take a look and zoom in on the UniStar crew, we can zoom in, and the iPad has the feature of moving the screen by touching with your fingers and spreading it out, and I'm simulating that so we can see the crew of the UniStar. And I'm also going to turn the page here, and this is what a normal page would look like. This is our character for the command module. His name is Jake Gray Fox, and this tells a little bit about him. And in an accelerometer, we could use this to tilt the image, and a simulation would be tilting down the iPad and then tilting up again to create a sense of motion. And we turn the page again, and we see this is another character from Africa called Talib, and he flies the sensor module, and the book layout is kind of like that. And again, we can have some interactive video where we can watch the sensor module fly and everything, and it's going to turn around and fly away. Okay, and now we're going to do another page, and we're going to learn about another character. This character, she's from South America, and she flies the cargo module, and this is a little bit of her vehicle, and by pressing and turning the ship, we can rotate it. And so by having these interactive functions, we could help the children more focus their attention on reading. And this is a character, a woman with disabilities. She's from Italy, and she flies the ARMS module, which is stands for Automated Robotic. I forgot what it stands for now, but it's pretty cool. It's manipulator arms that control the asteroid. So again, we can watch some children's animation here to tell the kids about what this does. The irony of this character is that the person with the disability flies the ship that requires the most skill. And our last character, this is Ming, and she's from China, and she flies the engine module. Actually, she's not from China, but she was born in space, and her parents were from China. And with this, we could simulate tilting, and then tilting back as we show the engine module. And finally, as we start to conclude, this shows just what a regular, maybe text-only layout would look like. And finally, if we want to see an animation of all the space vehicles together flying individually, this is what this would look like. And what I envision is a series of regular text associated with interactive apps, so that the child can both read and participate in the iPad book. So in conclusion, I hope you have enjoyed my presentation for the possibility of a children's book on the iPad.